Pooja, I heard this crazy story, okay, about two people who met on the train and they exchanged, social media details, they exchanged their taste in music, they talk about a lot of things, basically they hit it off.
Okay, this has all the makings of a nice love story. What's coming up?
Maybe. So they get off the train, they go grab a cup of coffee, and she offers to drop him off home saying that, oh, your house is on the way.
Liking it so far, modern day dating.
Yeah, pretty much. And 1 week later, she gives him a call and she says, I got tickets for this musician that we both love. He agrees. Okay. On the day of the concert, he reaches there and she's not there. So he messages her, texts her, and she's like, I'm so sorry, I'm running late. You go inside, I'll meet you there.
Okay.
Now an hour passes by. He's just like, she's still not here.
So she stood him up basically.
Yeah, so that's what he also realizes.
Yeah.
And so he's like, I'm not staying here anymore. I'm gonna head back home. But there's a surprise waiting for him at home.
The good type?
We'll see. Okay. So he goes home, he opens his door, everything's gone. His TV, his furniture, all his devices, refrigerator, everything's gone. He's been robbed.
Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And the girl has a role to play in this?
Yes, so apparently the day they exchanged social media handles, she stalked him and figured out he's loaded.
She did drop him home, right?
Yeah, that's how she knew where he lived. Now she just had to figure out a way to make sure he's not at home. So she gives him the tickets and she just robs him.
Wow, so finally we girls are using our smarts but not in the right way, huh?
Please beware.
But that's terrible.
I know we're far from April, but fooled you guys?
Definitely. You fooled me for sure.
I mean, we've come with individual stories, so Pooja did not know how this story was going to end, because we have some crazy stories today for you. Even though October is the month of festivities, it's also the National Cyber Security Awareness Month. So these are not just crazy stories; these are crazy scam stories.
And they've all actually happened, and I don't know how people have pulled off some of the stunts that they have, but we're going to share them with you. So what we did is we went on the internet and individually we scoured a lot of these scam stories, and we're going to share them with you as well as share them with each other. And tell us what you think, of course, in the comments below.
Yeah, I'm nervous. I have to say I'm really nervous. I don't know what to expect, but are you ready?
Yes, we're going to be trading those war stories. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to start with a story that's going to take your breath away, and I don't mean in the good way. This one is literally called the Air scam, and I'm not talking about the MacBook Air or the AirPods kind of scam. This is actually an air scam where a bunch of people from South Delhi were scammed into buying bottles of clean air. But absolutely like physical bottles of clean air.
People want bottles of air.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Can you believe it? So back in 2016, right, when one of our various pollution crises was happening, this was when they convinced people to go ahead and buy these bottles of clean air, and people were desperate enough to do anything to kind of safeguard themselves, and they bought these bottles of what they thought was pure air. It was of course pure cheating, and until a bunch of complaints was filed and finally the scammers were caught. So did I take your breath away?
Yeah. Thankfully nobody took my money away quite yet. But talking about desperation, that reminds me of one of the scams that I read about. And desperation really makes you do things that you'd think that people wouldn't fall for such scams. But when you truly feel like you're in that desperate position, you do. I need to talk about the scam that people are experiencing now. Like this year, lots of this type of scam have happened, right?
Okay.
Where people get calls from people claiming to be police officers, saying that either they have been arrested or someone they know or love has been arrested, and people need to give money so that they can as bribery, and they can be sent.
That's scary.
Free of any charge. I know, it's super scary. And it's also the kind of stuff that you think nobody would fall for.
I mean, that's exactly the first thought that came into my mind. Like, what kind of people fall for this?
I don't know, because someone.
But it's us. It's you and me and all of us.
Someone in our office got a call, saying that her son is in trouble and she doesn't have any kids. I mean, she's a young person, just got married. So clearly, you'd think nobody would fall for it, but
Wait, didn't you get one of those where I remember you shared something with me? What was that about?
I did. Somebody called me up saying that, you need to come to Lucknow because you're getting arrested for something you did in Lucknow. And I was like, I've never been to Lucknow in my entire life. Like, I was like, Bhaiya ji, aap mere badle mein chale jao, and I just cut the phone.
Okay, that was smart. That was a smart call.
I didn't know what to do.
But that is crazy. Oh my gosh.
Okay, but I digressed. My bad. Actually, the main story that I wanted to tell you about, I read about this girl, okay, who said her father got a call from an officer like this, someone claiming to be an officer, saying that his son got arrested and he needs to send him $1 lakh. Obviously, the guy didn't believe at first, but then apparently he was like, let me pass the phone to your son. And then someone who sounded exactly like his son was like, Papa, help karo, Papa, help karo. And this guy was like, that's my son's voice. Like, and he ended up paying the 1 lakh.
Oh my God. I also read about some stories like this, and the whole setup is so believable, right? I mean, they actually have these virtual meetings where they show you like the inside of a police booth, and they have interrogation, and then, you usually start with a junior level officer, then a higher person coming up, then the DSP. So it's all so believable, right? That the best of us can get scammed.
I didn't know that it had reached that video level, but I mean, with the kind
yes.
of growth AI is having now, it's quite scary what people.
I mean, what you said about AI, about the son's voice being used. I mean, I'm a mother. That is scary. That's like your worst nightmare coming true, and you will do anything to set things right.
Please, make sure you call up whoever they're saying is in trouble and double check.
Yeah,
don't just fall for any of these scams.
Okay, so crazy. While I was discussing the story with our producer, he himself told me that he was almost prey to a scam.
Really?
Yeah, his mommy called him one day to check, are you okay? Where are you? And he was like, I'm in office. And apparently she had been called up again by people posing to be cops, saying that your nephew, we've taken him to jail. So please come and whatever, do the needful, you know what that means, so that you can get him. And obviously she called him, used her brains, used her smarts, and she said, he's like, yeah, I'm in jail, but it's called my office. So the good kind of jail, but yeah.
Please be smart like that.
Yeah.
Very important. Double check
So
again.
crazy, right? But but these romance scams, what's your take on that?
Romance scams are the #1 scams, like the most popular scams right now, okay, in the world, not just
popular
in India.
is such a bad way of putting it, but
the most common scams in the world right now, and it's really bad because lots and lots of people are not just falling for it, they are giving away their life savings, entire life savings over people who don't exist basically, or who are fake, right? So it's
kind of like taps into our quest for that perfect love story, right? No matter your age, you're still looking for it. Which is why so many people are falling prey to these scamsters.
Literally
falling in love.
Falling flat.
Getting cheated out of, everything, their trust, their faith, their finances. But
truly. It's scary, it's crazy, and let me tell you how scary and crazy it is. There's this girl that I read about on the internet, right, who gave this information to an expert, a cybersecurity expert, saying, please figure out if my boyfriend is real. Right?
Why, was he too good to be true?
maybe, but she also was giving him money, and lots of money. So she was like, let me just make sure, okay? The guy, or the cybersecurity guy, gets back to her and says, your suspicions were accurate, they were correct.
Whoa.
He's fake.
Okay.
Now, any sane person at this point would be like, oh my gosh, I have to stop this immediately. But that girl is like, I don't believe you.
Wow.
I don't believe you. My boyfriend is real. Like, love is truly blind.
That is crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. Oh my God. And that's really sad. I wonder how that story ended.
I have no idea. I used to think romance scams were limited to these like Nigerian and Dubai prince scams. But
what are those?
You don't know? Well, we're gonna have to have a part 2 of this video because there are just too many stories.
I have some more too.
Yeah.
I'm going to share them with you next episode. Okay then, it's time to get serious. Let's discuss what one needs to do when they're caught in the midst of this horrible situation. First up, once you've done your, you verified, you figured out through the relevant sources or people involved that this is a scam and you are being scammed, then stop engaging. Stop all activity, all communication, responding to any sort of email, calls. Stop engaging.
Yeah, and secure your finances, please. Like, make sure that your credit cards or your debit cards, anything relating to your account has not been messed with. If something feels off, just immediately contact your bank and make sure that your cards are cancelled and your account is blocked, so that nothing else can happen.
Absolutely, yeah. And maybe change all your passwords for sure, and check if any weird activity is happening on your accounts, and just change passwords.
Talking about weird activity, if you feel like the scammers have gotten into your computer, your laptop, then make sure you run a full scan to see that the suspicious activity stop, there's nothing there, and make sure your security software is updated, and so that it can do its job.
And most importantly, alert the authorities, right? That's just so important. I mean, now we have cyber cells, so we have specific departments who you can reach out to and report this. So please do that, share it with your family and friends. And I would say social media, we're all on social media, so spread the word, warn other people. This is happening at a large scale in different formats and different ways. We're gonna, probably we have lots more to share with you in our next episode, because we possibly can't cover it in one.
We're going to be back with exactly how do you reach out to the local authorities and how do you contact the different departments. We're going to get into the specifics of it, and of course be back with more crazy stories that we find online.
And we want to hear from you, your stories.
On the same page. We want to know what you went through and what you experienced. Let us know in the comments below, right?
Absolutely, and keep following us. Thank you.
Bye.